Hello everyone, David here. Now today is going to be a little different to the normal build. So I've been film testing for Rise of Hawk audiobook movie for a while now, and I'm just about ready to do a proper filming set, but I need to do some very specific set dressing. I need to populate the set with figures. Now, I'm sure anyone who's played single player will know there aren't a lot of NPCs available in Minecraft. So in order to populate the scene, I have three specific solutions. The first solution to this problem is, of course, to bring in another player. Now, I saved up and bought a second account. This is the skin for Ashkan. And this account will be used mostly to play the point of view character in each scene. So the skin will change depending on who's talking, whose perspective it is in the book. A dear friend of mine gifted me her old computer, which, after being cut down to bare bones, can just run Minecraft and play on a LAN game without too much lag. And this frees up my actual computer to run the camera and shader mods for filming. And if I need to, my avatar can also play a second character sometimes. The second solution for populating a set are villagers. If you've watched my videos for a while now, you know I loathe and despise dealing with these little beggars. They move in weirdly chaotic ways, they disappear even when they're labelled, and when you finally have them doing what you want them to do, they'll randomly generate cats and golems into the shot that you then have to, murder or corral out of sight. But once they are suitably controlled, they can be useful to play stationary NPCs like shopkeepers. The third and final method I'm using to populate the sets of the audiobook movie are armor stands. Vanilla Minecraft armor stands in Java look like this. In a survival game, you can use them to exhibit and track your progress through the game as you upgrade, or to store different sets of armor for different goals, such as gold is necessary in the nether, if you don't want to get murdered. Mining at a low Y level, you probably need fire resistance for all of the lava. If you go end busting, you probably need at least reduced fall damage, because of shulkers. Exploration probably needs a balance of different kinds of attack resistance, etc. As they are in vanilla, they don't make very good NPCs, even if you use mob heads instead of helmets and dyed leather armor for different colours. There's very little life in them. But with a little visit to the website Vanilla Tweaks and the installation of not only the armor stand mod, but also the 2 mob head packs, you can make a little character. It's very fiddly, but with some patience you can make a diorama. The downside is that if you want the characters to move, you basically have to invest a lot of time into something like stop motion animation. So today's montage is filling them all with the final set dressings, including armor stand NPCs. So now, after all that talking, we come to the normal end of my introduction and say wish me luck and cue the music. And welcome back, everybody. It's been a long job, and more long in the context of design for this one. It's having a diorama in basically 4 zones, or 5 if you count outside, but I did outside before, earlier. It's been quite difficult not to make them, because other than occasionally when things wouldn't work, like I tried to put a shovel on a surface, it wouldn't work. Most of the time this sort of level of armor stand statues aren't too hard. It's, add feet, add hands, take off the plate, take off gravity, and then put them in a preset position, and then figure out what colors to put them in. But I had to think about the camera angles, the established ones and ones that I might want. Like Asha comes in through here, and I want a picture coming from behind her to show her the busy that she sees, but also have, because this is a security camera, also have one kind of from watching her. And the stuff out there is not, there's no filming in this direction, but there needed to be details to make it look like it's filled up. Same with up here. There's a few people seated, one there and one there, and obviously villagers everywhere. And there's an agent here with his back to the glass, which is probably more of an Easter egg than something that you'll actually see in the filming. So it was difficult in the plotting part, not in the execution part. I just have to say, I just imagine this little one wearing like the Planet Shadow Iranan version of a Captain America or a Iron Man suit or something. That's why I picked those colours, because I imagine them being dressed up in a superhero costume and going, "Look, Ma, I can fly," or something. I don't know. And the mum's just like, "Dude, can you just come inside the store already? I have so much to do. I've got a shopping list. I'm so damn tired. Can you just do what you're told for once?" I have babysat people, even though I haven't had children, so I do actually know how hard it is to be old and be around young people. It's exhausting. It's gorgeous and lovely, and kids have the most amazing perspectives on things, but sometimes you're just like, "Dude, can you just go away already?" Some of the camera angles in the montage, I just couldn't show all the things I did in the montage, because I'm not very good with the montage camera the replay mod. But I really like this store. Originally I made it as a pun into a plant store, because you don't really have baby stuff, but because it's now being filmed, I tried to make a baby store. All I could really do was like small children's clothes and things that look vaguely like they might be something worth buying. Beds. But I'm quite happy with their store, and it was quite fun. I couldn't at all show these two. I mean, they're not doing anything, they're just looking at shelves. I originally conceived that this would be like an old style music store. But anyone who was a teenager after like the mid-2000s won't know what a music store is. They actually used to have real shops where you went into a mall and you bought albums, and now it's just digital. I don't know what this shop is, but it was originally like arrows and crossbows and bows and stuff. I thought, because the image of America you get a lot of the time is like, you go to the mall and buy a shotgun. It's probably not that drastic in many places, but it was supposed to be a sort of joke because Iran isn't America, but it's got a lot in common. Like, it's meant to be similar enough. Haven is meant to be more like New Zealand. And so I thought I'd just make a little tiny social commentary and make a gun shop. But it just felt wrong for Irana, and that they're not like obsessed with guns. They don't have a right to bear arms, if you know what I mean. So I changed it to something else. I have no idea what they'd sell, but it looks interesting. I was thinking knickknacks, like these could be knickknacks. But, yeah, that was kind of fun. I did the best I could to get the camera right and imagined camera angles in the actual story, filming angles. This one is definitely one of them I quite like. And then I put stuff in the background, like this one, just to add extra flavour in the background. I was going to put some down here, but I ran out of time, and I'm not sure if it's affecting lag yet. I wanted to do a lag test first before I added any more. This is meant to be a kid either in a trolley or a pram. I just think it's cute. I don't know how you discern between a trolley or a tram, but that's okay. So a lot of the characters are in places where I imagine a camera angle to be. So a camera view kind of this way, even though there isn't any action in this direction, most of the action goes this way. I thought as Asha like ran down this bit, the camera could sort of follow her sideways. So I wanted to make sure that angle was covered. And this angle was absolutely has to be in the story because she gets attacked by a security guard. And I thought as she turns and goes in there, she can see a dude going, "Please don't shoot me. I'm not a rebel or a traitor or whatever," even though there isn't an agent here going brandishing anything. So it's all sort of a little complex, and there's a lot to think about, and there are a few underlying problematic elements. I didn't realize by putting the villages behind the counters, I'm inferring, sort of, that, like, because the villages look very different to the statues, because I'm using player skins for the statues, and I'm basically inferring that there's like a race of people who do service in the mall. So I might swap heads a little and add one or two statues behind the counter, and add a few statues with villager heads, just to mix it up, because there's been some discourse that suggests that the design of the villages is potentially anti-Semitic. I don't know much about that field because I'm completely unaware of stuff in New Zealand, let alone the rest of the world. But they have noses, and there's been long noses, and so there's been some criticism, and I don't know a lot about anti-Semitism in the details, only sort of in the big instances. And I'm not, if a Jewish person says that they're problematic, I'm gonna at least err on the side of believing them, because I don't understand all of it. So I want to mix it up so it doesn't look like there's any, like, I don't want to infer anything that could be problematic that I don't intend. I might be trying too hard, but I don't want anyone to feel unwelcome in TSU, other than, bigots can go jump off a cliff. I should have just said jump, but anyway. I just wanted to make sure it was okay and fix stuff and get the right angles. And so a lot of the montage I had to speed up because I was sitting there going, do I need another person? Oh, I need to move this person. Yeah, angles. So most of the hard wasn't actually making the diorama. Most of the hard was planning the diorama. So we'll see what happens, and it's kind of interesting. It's funny, I made this mold to be really pretty, but all the pretty elements are in the areas that you don't see in the filming. But that's okay. Anyway, it is the end again. So, I shall see you next time. And hopefully there shall be more products. Soon I shall be doing filming, hopefully, for the actual movie audiobook. I don't know what to call it, audiobook movie. Until then, ara ni tasa.